Friday night, neon light, I'm dressed up and drinking like I'm supposed to. Getting loud, dancing around, throwing those check me outs at you. You're smiling right at me just before you leave. You know I got it all together.
Peter Clark from SaltbushSix joins me tonight, and you are going to be checking these guys out. Brand new, the debut album for SaltbushSix. They're going to be at the Crowbar Friday at 9:15, and then going off like you wouldn't believe at the Crowbar at 11:45 Saturday night. And Peter joins us. Peter, it sounds like you guys are in for a massive time at the Gimpy Muster this weekend.
Yes, Big D. It's going to be a great weekend. We've been so looking forward to this, well, ever since, we were booked months ago, and having 2 nights there in the Crowbar is extra special because it's a great venue. The main stage is great, but there's a certain vibe about the Crowbar which gets the crowd going, and you've got a bit more in your face, sort of in touch with the crowd. And yeah, 2 shows. Saturday night's a late one, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to it.
I was talking to someone at a country music festival, a Talent Quest last weekend, and they brought up the name the Ayers Rockettes, something that I hadn't heard from a long time. You better tell us about the Ayers Rockettes. Yeah,
well, that's how the whole thing originated. We all started playing together in the late 80s as part of Rusty and the Ayers Rockettes. So all the members of the band SaltbushSix are ex-members of the Ayers Rockettes, apart from Darcy Crawford. He's the new guy. He's the lead singer. But all the rest of us are from the Ayers Rockettes, and we started playing together back in the 80s with Rusty and continued on, and then moved on to become Keith Urban's backing band because Keith joined that band and became one of the members. And then when he took off with his solo career and won Star Maker and did all that, we backed him through his solo adventures. And then I moved to the US with him in the early 90s and became part of the Ranch, and we released an album over there. So we have a long history with Keith and the Ayers Rockettes. And then when I came back, we used to get together every now and again to do a show. We do a private party or a festival, and we have done the Crowbar a couple of times over the years as the Ayers Rockettes. But earlier in the year, we thought that, end of last year, we thought we'd have a go at doing our own record again. So that's where the whole impetus comes from. It's, we all still play together, and we're all great friends, and the mechanics of the band are all there, and we all sound great. It's like putting on an old pair of boots when you play together for so long. And now we've got this great new record out under our own new name, and it's all great because getting to play the big stages again in these festivals is what it's all about, really.
We're speaking to Peter Clark from the SaltbushSix. Their brand new single we talk about is You Don't Know Me Lonely. Tell us about the single, Peter.
Yeah, well, it's our second single off the album, Beyond the Ranch, and it's co-written by Phil Barton, who's an Aussie who lives in Nashville, and a great songwriter. He's had some huge hits in the US in the last few years, and a lovely guy, and he's got together with some other writers, and that was one of his songs that pitched to us. When we were putting the album together, we had the fortunate access to a lot of great songwriters in the US because of who I'd worked with over there, and also Greg Shaw, who was Keith's original manager and the Ayers Rockettes' original manager. We had great contacts through publishers and music houses in Nashville, and we got offered all these great choice of songs, and it was hard to select what to choose for the album because there was so many great songs offered to us, which normally wouldn't be offered to, beginning artists per se. So we're very fortunate to have these great tunes offered to us, and that was one of them. And it's a great song. We've done a clip for it at Johnny Ringo's in Brisbane. It's now out there on the airwaves, and we're really happy with the album, and the single is doing great for us. Yeah.
Now, if people want to keep in touch with SaltbushSix, what they're doing, where they're going to be, what's the best way of doing that, Peter?
Through our Facebook page or Instagram. Social media is the best access for all that sort of stuff these days. We've only got a few shows booked for this year, but that will build as time goes on. At the moment, we're just getting the songs out there and building a bit of momentum and a bit of a following. And hopefully, in the next few months, that will all start to grow. But anything that is a place that we will be playing as far as venue goes, or what's happening with the band, with new releases, it'll all be available on either Facebook or Instagram.
You know where to find them, folks. SaltbushSix at the Crowbar this Friday night. It's going to be massive at 9:15, and then they're going to back it up and do it all again on Saturday night at 11:45. Peter, great to catch up with you. The debut album out now. It's called Beyond the Ranch, and this is the new single, You Don't Know Me Lonely.
But you don't